Welcome to the WedPro Podcast, the podcast for WedPros no matter their stage. We are your hosts, Katie and Roxy, and this is the WedPro Podcast. Hi everyone, welcome back to the WedPro Podcast. I'm Roxy, joined as always by my amazing co-host, Katie. Hey!
Hi. Okay, so today we're carrying on our little series about kind of wedding inquiries and how you can get more of the inquiries in. And we really want to break down a subject that non-marketers can actually find a little bit complex. But hey ho, what we do well is we break down topics that can be really, really difficult into simple things so that you can understand them and take some action on them. And we're going to be diving into something in order to be able to have an uptick in your wedding inquiries. So if engagement season isn't being the boom that you hoped for and you're feeling a little bit stuck, this episode is absolutely for you.
That's right. We're going to walk you through a step-by-step process to assess your marketing funnel, find the leaks, and get your inquiries back on track. We're not just talking vague strategies here. We are going to be giving you tangible, actionable advice to make real changes in your wedding business.
Okay, so why does your marketing funnel matter? And I think let's talk about the wedding planning journey. You know, it's a process. It's not just a single action. Couples don't wake up one day, stumble up on your website and immediately hit that book now button. That's not how it works.
No, it's not. It's exactly like this. They're going through a journey that starts with dreaming and inspiration, moves then into research and evaluation, and ends with booking. So your marketing funnel needs to align with these stages, guiding couples step by step to make that final decision.
You need to really think of this as like a process. And at each stage of the journey, you need to meet your potential clients with exactly where they are, with the right message and the right call to action to get them to move on to the next stage in that kind of funnel as well.
So let's break this down even further. The wedding planning journey typically has 4 main stages: inspiration, research, booking, and post-wedding advocacy. Your job is to show up in each of these phases with relevant content and a logical next step.
But let's first talk about that top of the funnel, the inspiration stage. So this is where couples are dreaming, they're putting all their inspiration together, they're scrolling through Instagram, they're pinning ideas on Pinterest, flipping through bridal magazines. They are nowhere near ready to book, but they are gathering ideas.
That's right. And your one role here is to simply get on their radar. Be present in the places that they're searching for inspiration. So you need to be showing up on social media, especially Instagram and Pinterest, wedding blogs as well, and bridal magazines. And the inspirational content that you need to be sharing is real weddings, mood boards, and locally inspired tips as well. And then remember, you also need to give them that next logical step. And at this point, it is literally to encourage engagement. So encourage likes, comments, saves, or clicking through to a blog post on your website.
So now they get into kind of the middle part of the funnel, which is the research stage. So couples in this stage are narrowing down their options. They've made some basic decisions. Maybe they've got their venue, or they understand the theme, they understand the colors that they're having, and they're looking for wedding suppliers that are going to fit that vision.
So at this stage, your potential clients are stalking your socials, reading your reviews, and diving into your website. So at this point, you need to be showing up on Google search results, social media, wedding directories, and your website as well. And the things that you need to be showing them are actionable content like tips for planning, in-depth portfolio showcases, and reviews from past clients as well. And the next logical step here is to drive them to your website to explore your portfolio, your services, and your contact form.
So then they head into kind of the crunch time and the bottom of the funnel, which is the booking stage. And this really is where couples then start to shortlist. They start to really compare you to your competitors. And this really is where your value needs to shine.
That's right. Your inquiry process should be seamless and your client consultations need to be top notch. And at this point, you need to be showing up on your website and in your emails as well. It needs to be a streamlined inquiry process, a strong client consultation kind of script. So what to say, when to say it, and clear call to actions as well. And then by the end of this, that next logical step will be them signing the contract and paying their deposit.
I think I just want to go back to something you just said there in terms of having that kind of consultation script, understanding that seamless inquiry process, having clear calls to actions throughout it. This is stuff that we work with on our clients, don't we, on how to kind of pull all of this together so that you're going in to consultations with a plan to get them to make that step. And that's what your marketing's job is, to get people to kind of this stage. And then at this stage, that's where your sales process needs to really kick in. So if you're somebody that is losing people in your funnel, you need to understand exactly where you're losing them. Are you losing them right at the top? Like, are they even aware of you? Is it in the middle? What can you do? Are they booking people over you? Why is that? Are you speaking about the things that they don't particularly care about? Are you sharing too much of one side of your business and not enough of another side of your business? And it's really important to find where the leaks are and to really look at this as a massive process. And that's one of our strengths when we come in and we look over a business. We're like, right, okay, let's start right at the beginning, come right the way through to the advocacy stage, which we're going to go on to in a minute, and see where are the gaps in your funnel here. And if this is something that you really struggle with, do reach out, because quite often it's just a few tweaks, something very, very small. We rarely completely rip things up and start again, do we? It's very, very rare. Okay, so post-wedding, the advocacy stage, and it's really important to put as much focus on this stage as your other stages, because the funnel doesn't stop just at your bookings. Happy clients and happy couples can become your best advocates. Their reviews, their referrals help fill your funnel for future clients as well.
Make sure you're leaving a lasting impression on the wedding day and follow up with clients post-event as well. And you can do this on social media. You need to be showing up on review sites and via wedding blogs as well. And what you need to be sharing is behind the scenes moments, amazing social media posts, and real weddings that you have worked on. And then the next logical step from this is to encourage reviews, social media mentions, and also referrals as well.
Okay, so once you've mapped out this journey and you've really understood your funnel and the 4 components of your funnel, it's time to refine those call to actions. Because really, we want you to have got to this point of the podcast and realize that book now isn't necessarily the next step and isn't going to work at every stage of this funnel.
Exactly. Your call to actions need to align with where the client is in their journey. For example, in the inspiration stage, the call to action might be pin this idea for later or visit our blog for more tips.
Here's some examples of some call to actions that you can use at each part of the funnel, and also the KPIs, the key performance indicators, which are going to really help you understand where your traffic is coming from, what your traffic is doing, and really what you want people to do to know that the first part of this is working. So at the top of the funnel, you are here, and this is the inspiration stage. So you want people to be, you will really want to be getting on people's radar. So save this for your wedding inspo board, pin this for later, follow us on social media, sign up to our email list. And really what you want to be measuring here, your KPI that you want to be measuring, is the number of likes, saves, and blog traffic to your website. So in the middle of the funnel, this is where people are starting to compare you. They're starting to really get into the nitty gritty. They've started to book a few wedding suppliers. They've been to a few wedding fairs. They know exactly what they're wanting from the wedding, what they want from the wedding suppliers. Call to action here could be to check out the portfolio of real weddings. And the key performance indicator that you want to be measuring at this part of your funnel to see if things are working for you is going to be website clicks, but also how long are people spending on key pages on your website as well. Okay, then we get to the bottom of the funnel, and this really is where people are ready to book and they're in a position where they have got the funds available to book you. They've done enough research now. They've compared you to, quite often some people are comparing you with up to 8 other people as to what you do in your niche, but they're ready at this point to make an inquiry. So your call to action here is those book now inquiries, inquiring about availability, and your KPI that you want to be measuring at this point, and the one that you should all be measuring at all points, is the number of inquiries that you're getting, but also how many of those inquiries are you booking? How many are you converting? Now, tracking your KPIs, so your key performance indicators, is going to help you identify where those potential clients are dropping off. If they're clicking through to your site, but they're not submitting an inquiry, it might be time to optimize your contact form. And this is what we do, and this is what we do really well. So if you are somebody that doesn't understand where people are dropping off, get in touch with us. DM us the word interested, and we'll be happy to kind of hop on a call and show you how we can help you with this. Because I do understand that this is quite complicated.
Yeah. We will be able to help, don't worry about that. But here's where the real detective work comes in. Look at the numbers from each stage of your funnel. Are you losing people between inspiration and inquiry, or between inquiry and booking? This is about being a detective and looking, exactly like Katie said, about where people might be dropping off and then plugging those holes.
So if you're getting a lot of social media engagement, but you're not getting the website clicks, your posts might not have strong enough call to actions. And you can find all of this out. You need to just be tracking the data. So looking at your insights on your socials, looking at your insights on your website as well. If inquiries are coming in, but they're not converting, it could be your consultation process that needs some work.
Yeah, it's really important to fix these leaks in your funnel before pouring more traffic into the top. There's no point in boosting posts or running ads if your inquiry form or follow-up emails aren't working effectively enough.
Okay, so I really want to make this clear that optimizing your funnel is not often a quick fix. It's really a long-term investment. And by investment, we mean it just takes time to refine each stage, to really understand what you're looking for and to understand what's working. But the payoff is big, isn't it, Roxy?
The payoff is huge. As you build more of an effective funnel, you'll see better results from your marketing efforts and fewer missed opportunities. And some of you out there may be, thinking, well, I don't even have a funnel. You do. You just don't realize it. So it is worth kind of...
It's one of those marketing words.
It is, yeah. Like if this has gone a little bit over your head, I would definitely save this podcast, grab a notebook, listen to it back over and really break down these kind of processes to work out what you have got. Maybe it's just a case of adding a few little bits here and there, and you can have a really successful funnel.
It's like building a machine. Like once all of the parts are working smoothly, it runs on its own and delivers those consistent results. And like I said, every single business that comes into work with us, we sit and we have like a strategy call with them, and we really dive into what's working, what's not working, because sometimes it's not the things that aren't working. It's sometimes doubling down on the stuff that is. But we kind of spend a good hour with you. We get to know the nitty gritty of your business. We always have like a big at the end of the hour, don't we? Because we really dive into
we do.
We dive into the metrics. We dive into what's working. We look at every area of your funnel, because it's our job, isn't it, to be able to spot where you potentially are losing a few people, or where we can just optimize things and turn the dial up on a few things to improve them. But once you get this right and your marketing is working and you have done an ideal client profile and you understand where your business is going, all of these things then get people into the top of your funnel. And then once you've plugged any holes, plugged any gaps, it really is smooth kind of sailing from there, really, isn't it? In terms of then once people kind of get into the funnel, you are way more likely to convert them if you optimize each of the stages. And you're speaking to people, like meet people where they're at. I think that's one of the best bits of advice. It's about meeting your client, knowing exactly where they're at in the process, and understanding actually you're not just talking to one type of buyer and one type of client at once. You're talking to multiple, and that is quite difficult. But like anything, the more practice you do, the easier it becomes, and it just becomes a bit more natural.
The reality of it is the wedding industry is more competitive than ever, but with a clear optimized funnel, you can stand out and consistently attract dream clients. It can work for you. Don't think that, oh no, this is something that can't work for me. It literally can. And when it's a well-oiled machine, you'll get someone going through the top and then coming out the end as a paying client. This is what we want.
Yeah, and I think quite a lot of wedding professionals, and I say this with like the greatest love in the world, but they throw kind of spaghetti to the wall and they hope something
This
sticks.
is one of my favourite sayings. I've not said it in a while. I'm gonna re-adopt it.
Actually, that isn't a strategy. And then when, that's all great when it's working, but when it's not working, you can't identify why it's not working or where it's gone wrong.
If you like untangling a knot, it's literally impossible.
Whereas, it's all amazing when it's working. You're like, oh, this is amazing, this is easy. But actually, when there is no strategy and you've not taken the time to understand your client's journey, you've not taken the time to refine your call to actions, you've not taken the time to look at your funnel or to fix any leaks in your funnel, when things go wrong, you don't know where they've gone wrong. And that is not a strategy. And it just won't work. Like throwing a load of spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks and trying little bits of this marketing out and little bits of that marketing out and not sitting and doing the work. You will, of course, get some momentum doing that.
Yeah, you will get so far, but you won't.
But at some point, you have to sit and do the work. And, it's the start of a new year. It's a good time to think, right, what do I want from my business this year? And to get serious on the stuff because you deserve it. Like you are spending time on your personal development. You are listening to podcasts like this. You might already be invested in your business, whether that's time listening to things like this and education or reading or whether you're investing in coaching and mentoring like what me and Roxy do. But you deserve to kind of have these things in place. So don't shy away from doing things like this and really looking at your funnel, because once you do find those leaks, exactly, like the process just becomes so much easier.
It does. It's like all the cogs start turning in the right direction and everything starts to become easy. And it can happen. It does happen. We work with clients every day that are like, oh, my business is feeling really easy right now because everything is in alignment. And that's what we want for you. Thank you so much for tuning into the WedPro podcast today. If you have loved this episode, which I know you have, share it with a fellow wedding pro who is ready to level up their marketing as well. Give us a share on your stories. Like, we'd be so grateful for that.
Yeah, thank you. And don't forget to check us out over at the Wedding Business Hub for more resources and more support. And if anything we have said today has piqued your interest and you would like to get in touch with us, we're taking on a few more clients now, and then we'll be closing our books for a little while. So if you'd like to have a little chat with us, just drop into our Instagram DMs or send us an inquiry via our website, www.theweddingbusinesshub.com. And we will look forward to seeing you next time.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the WedPro Podcast. Full transcribes of this episode, plus every other episode we have done, are available at www.theweddingbusinesshub.com/blogs. Thanks so much for listening. If you do have any questions about this episode or anything else at all, you can email us at info@theweddingbusinesshub.com. And if you are loving our episodes, which I know you are, make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button so you can stay updated with any new episodes that land. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.